Hello class and good day. This is our lecture for our Module 6, namely acid-base or neutralization titration, which is a part of volumetric analysis of our discussion. Since you're done with the gravimetric analysis, which concerns about the analytes to measure the analyte concentration or content in terms of mass, now we are analyzing the content of our analyte in terms of volume added of a specific nitrate. And there are actually four types, I think, of titration. There are neutralization titration, complex symmetric titrations, redox titration, and precipitation titration. And this neutralization titration, guys, is based on the acid-base reactions of our analyte with the titrant. And this lecture, by the way, was made by my advisor, by Dr. Joel R. Salazar. So what are the outline of our discussion for today? We will discuss the volumetric methods of analysis and introduction, the setup for titration, guys, the concepts of neutralization titrations, the titrant or the components involved when conducting a volumetric analysis or titrations. Isa-isahin natin yan. Those are base titrant, acid titrant, but the scope of our discussion, guys, will be more only mainly focusing on the neutralization titration. We will disregard the other titration. Okay, we are going to discuss the primary standards for acid titrant, the acid-base indicators, okay, its equilibria, their concepts, and some sort of determinate errors, its curve, what are the species present, and lastly, we will go on to the calculations involving a strong base and strong acid calculations and weak acid and strong base calculations. So we will only discuss only the 50th slides our discussion, or 51. And the part 2 of our lecture, we will discuss the titer, okay, the titer approach or generalized stoichiometry. So let's start with our discussion for today. Okay, so volumetric analysis involves a titration, a process by which a stoichiometric equivalent quantity in standard solution is systematically added to a known quantity of sample. And the titrant is a reagent that is added incrementally, usually from a burette. Okay, from a burette. Ganito yung setup ng ating titration, guys. Dito, sa burette natin is nilalagay yung ating titrant. Ito yung i-add ninyo. And then dito naman, guys, yung nilalagay ninyo sa may Erlenmeyer plus natin is yung titrant, na kung saan nandito yung analyte natin. And then you are going to determine the amount of analyte based from the volume added of the titrant kapag na-reach na a certain color in the equivalence point. Kaya nga, tinawag natin siyang volumetric analysis. So, ganyan yung typical setup. So, paano ba maghawak ng titration? When you're adding it, kapag nagkanda kayo ng face-to-face classes, guys, ganito ang tamang paghahawak ng titration. Kanang kamay sa may beaker and kaliwang kamay doon sa may natin, sa may burette natin. Sa may burette. Ayan. Habang kinaano nyo, may clamp dyan or stopper na kung saan, i-rotate nyo lang when you will add the titrant. Yun. So, you will conduct a volumetric analysis. So, ano ba yung neutralization titration? Guys, it is one of the titrations, di ba? As discussed. Okay, it is used routinely in virtually all fields of chemistry and in related areas. It is used for the determination of inorganic compounds that exhibits sufficient acidity or basicity. So this involves a basic and acidic analyte compounds. And then the commonly used titrants are strong acid and strong bases. And then the sample species can be either strong or weak bases. Tatandaan nyo, guys, yung nilalagay dito sa ating titrant is always a strong acid or strong base. Hindi pwedeng weak acid or weak base. Pero dito, it can be either both. Strong or weak base and acid. So, yun yung mga samples natin. So, ano ba yung mga titrant na ginagamit natin in terms of acid-base titration? There are two types. We have the base titrant and the acid titrant. Kasi sila lang naman yung magka-partner dito eh. Our acids and base, since it involves a neutralization titration. Now, let's go on to the base titrant. Sodium hydroxide is the most common base titrant in using a neutralization titration. Base titrant kapag sodium hydroxide. Pero hindi siya primary standards. Kasi nga it contains some water since it is hygroscopic, carbonates, and some trace metals. So paano ba natin gagawin yan in order to standardize it? Gagamit kayo, ayan, it must be standardized after removal of carbonate. So ang ating sodium hydroxide is just a secondary standard solutions. So pero para maging kanyan, para maging yan yung maging basis nyo as your volumetric analysis as a Titan, i-standardize ko siya using a primary standard na madi-discuss natin mamaya. And then, the second types of Titan natin is the acid Titan. Ang commonly na ginagamit, guys, sa ating neutralization titration is the HCl. Hindi tayo gumagamit ng nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and perchloric acid kasi sila ay mga oxidizing agents. And they contain oxygens, okay? And magkakaroon tayo ng serious problem with our organic species and mas hazardous yung work natin. So, ayan. So, acid titan, again, is not a primary standard material. Kailangan mo siyang gamitan ng primary standard in order to standardize it to use it in a volumetric analysis. So, mamaya i-discuss natin yon. And ayun. So, ano ba yung ito na yung i-discuss natin? No? Primary standards natin. Ito kasi, guys, ang primary standard natin is an ultra pure compound that serves as the reference material for our titrimetric analysis. Pero guys, kasi ito ay may mga requirements. So ano-ano ba yun? Requirements for primary standards are high purity, stable, soluble, low viscous, absence of hydrate matter, and it has a large molar mass. So isa-isayin natin. So may mga base titan, guys, is ito yung mga ginagamit ng pag-standardize natin. And ang most common na ginagamit sa mga laboratory, sa ating laboratories, ay sa laboratory sa LSU, is the KHP or potassium acid phthalate. Yan. And the others are 2-furanic acid, sulfonic acid, benzoic acid, and potassium hydrogen iodide. So isa-isayin natin sila. The potassium acid phthalate is the most commonly used due to its high molecular weight, high purity, and thermally stable when drying. And it reacts rapidly with sodium hydroxide. So, ino-consider din natin yung reaction kinetics natin dito, guys, bago bago tayo mag-analyze. And then, next naman is the 2-furonic acid. An alternate primary standard because it is a stronger acid than our potassium acid phthalate. Pero, ito ay results in a sharper endpoint. So, what is sharper endpoint? Mamaya makikita natin yung graphs na yan. And then, others are sulfonic acid and benzoic acid. Quite a strong acid, can be titrated using indicator whose transition range between 4 and 9. And benzoic acid, available in sufficient purity and good. Excuse me, guys, sorry. Okay. So, ayan. And potassium hydrogen iodide. Yan. Pero most common na ginagamit natin, guys, is yung ating potassium acid phthalate. Next naman, ano ba yung mga primary standard natin in terms of preparing and primary standard for acid titan? Meron tayong sodium carbonate, commonly used, pero kukunti lang yung molecular weight niya kasi low molecular weight. And nag-generate daw siya ng carbon dioxide during the titration that can complicate the endpoint detection. It is a bit hygroscopic. When you say hygroscopic, it can absorb water from the environment and you must be dried it before using. And ang pwede nyo gamitin na indicator ito is the phenolphthalein or methyl orange. Pwede rin bromo, cresol green, or bromo, cresol blue. Yan, primary standard for acid titan. And then sodium tetraborate, 4-aminopyridine, and 3-hydroxymethyl aminomethyl. So those are the primary standards in terms of preparing a acid titrant when you are going to standardize it as a secondary standard. Okay? So ano ba yung mga titration basics natin, guys? Okay. Ang kinaan natin dito, ang components ng mga titrations natin is the titran indicators. And the other techniques when using a titration is the titration and the back titration. Whereas the back titration is a process in which the excess of a standard reagent used to react with the analyte is determined by titration with a secondary standard solution. So, dalawang solution ang gagamitin dyan. So, mga cases kasi na ganyan kasi yung mga analytes natin are very slow to react. So, gagamit kayo ng another secondary standard para mag-react siya rapidly with your sample so that an indicators can be mag-result siya ng endpoint sa ating indicators. So, ang indicators naman natin, guys, is a weak organic acids or base that display different colors based on their pH. So, ano-ano ba yan? Ayan. So, the acid-base indicators natin, guys, are weak organic base acids or bases whose conjugated forms have different colors. Ito yung nag-act as a second acid or base in the solution and must be weaker than the analyte or analyte acid or base so that it reacts last with the titrant. Okay? So, dapat mas weaker yung ating indicator compared doon sa may analyte natin. So, ano ba at iba't ibang uri ng ating mga indicators, guys? Ito yung sinasabi ko. We have bromophenol blue, Congo red, methyl orange, and so forth. And the most common na ginagamit sa mekwa natin is yung ating phenolphthalein, which is an acid indicator type. So ano-ano ba yan? Ito kasi guys, methyl orange is a base indicator na kung saan nag-change yung anya, it is nag-generate siya ng conjugate acid. Kaya ang pH range niya is nasa 3.1 to 3.4. And ang endpoint niya guys, if you're familiar, kung napag-conduct na kayo sa may chemistry laboratory experiment ninyo, which involves a standardization of sodium hydroxide, ang endpoint niya guys, ang kulay niya is yung nasa gitna. So for phenolphthalein, it is a paint pink. Paint pink color na kung saan yung ating sodium hydroxide is stoichiometry equivalent na, or the acid or base is stoichiometry equivalent with its corresponding acid or base. So those are the acid-base indicators. So ayan, we have, as we discussed earlier, as mentioned earlier, we have two types of indicators. We have the acid type indicator and the base type indicator. For the acid type indicator, it acts an acid in water so that it can generate an conjugate bases which serves as a base color that will result in an endpoint. That's considered as phenolphthalein, kaya siya nagiging pink. Kasi nga siya ay, ang ina-exhibit niya guys, is the color is its conjugate base. Okay? While the acid base type indicator is serves as a base in a solution and will generate an conjugate acid corresponding na kung saan mag-change siya ng color. So acid type and base type indicators. So ito yung equilibrium expression niya. It is just an expression guys for acid dissociation constant, and this one here is expressed as a Henderson-Hasselbalch equation na kung saan na-reciprocal lang yung HIN or the acid with its corresponding conjugate base. So ang indicator's pH range daw will change color. As you can see here, suppose the acid is much greater than its corresponding conjugate base, and vice versa. Okay? So mag-generate tayo ng pK minus 1 and pK plus 10. So therefore, the indicator's pH range when it starts to change a color is a pKa positive, negative 1. So therefore, let's say we have a pKa that is 5. So minus 1, that is 4, plus 1, 5 plus 1, that is 6. So ang pH range na kung saan mag-change siya ng color is between 4 to 6. So ganon. Okay? So ano ba sinasabi ko dito guys? Ito kasi sinasabi natin. This is a typical titration curve na kung saan, ayan, this is for the addition of, we have a acid titrant and base titrant here na kung saan, ayan o, ito yung typical curve natin na kung saan ang ating titration curve is a sigmoidal curve na kung saan when we say that phenolphthalein, ito ang sinasabi ko, yung pH natin kailangan ma-reach is ito. So ang idea dito guys is that kailangan ninyo, ayan o, the most suitable indicator for the titration, the one with pKa closest to the pH at equivalence point. So hindi kayo basta-basta pumili na lang basta-basta na, kunwari, sir, magta-titrate ako ng sodium hydroxide sa HCl. Pwede ko ba gamitin bromoquinol blue? No, hindi pwede. Kailangan akma siya dito based doon sa may titration curve na kung saan yung equivalence point na guys is mag-change sa ng color. So consider this. Phenolphthalein nag-change. Sir, pwede ba kami gawa ng methyl orange? Hindi. Kasi hindi siya aabot doon sa may equivalence point or change in color ng ating indicator. So mas crucial pa rin yan guys. Ang pagpili ng indicator in a suitable analyte with its corresponding titrant or titrant. So ganon. Pero meron din tayo mga cases na kung saan is gumagamit tayo ng mga double indicator to indicate the presence of a multiple species such as the bicarbonates and sodium carbonate ions present in our analytes na kung saan nadedetect niya both phenolphthalein and methyl orange is mag-change siya ng color in both. So, ganyan. Okay, that's the idea. Suitable indicator with corresponding titrant and analyte relationship. So, ito. So, pag nag-experiment tayo guys, we always encounter an error. Hindi naman lagi perfect ang experiment natin. Tama? Kasi ayun, there are two types of acid-base indicators errors that we will encounter during our neutralization titration. And those are the determinate error and indeterminate error. So the determinate errors are that occurs when the pH at which the indicator changes color differs from the pH of equivalence point. So iba yung indicator, iba yung sa ibang pH nag-change yung indicator natin. Na supposedly, kunwari, pH 7, dapat mag-change siya ng color, pero at pH 8.3 is hindi pa rin siya nag-change. So, doon namin determine error. Madedetermine mo naman siya kasi it is evident naman based from your experiment and ma-observe nyo naman yan. throughout the experiment habang inaanak ninyo. Pero indeterminate error naman guys na madidetect natin sa ating acid neutralization titration is the color blinded. Kasi di ba? At so for example, if you have faint solution, ala kasi makita ang biology. Pero I will show it in your enrichment task, okay? Color blind, ang true color ng ating sample is blue, but you are perceiving green. So that's the indeterminate error na kung saan indeterminate error sa sarili ninyo. Pero in order for that to detect the true color of it, is pakita niya siya sa may hindi color-blinded person. Okay? So that's the icon natin. Okay. So our titration curve, guys, is this is a plot. The y-axis is the pH, and the y-axis is on the volume of titrant added. So the pH depends on the composition of solution, and the composition or the hour graph depends on the different stages of titration. So there are 4 stages of titration. Before the addition, pre-equivalence point and equivalence point, in which the indicator is at its end point, kung saan nag-change siya ng color, that indicates that the equivalence point or the analytes are still stoichrometrically equivalent with its respective titrant. And then the post-equivalence point, kung saan sobra-sobra ni titrant na ito na. So ito, so ano-ano ba yung mga yan? Suppose that we are titrating is sodium hydroxide and HCl. Okay, ang kwan natin dito is yung titrant natin, yung nasa, so slide 28. So yung nasa baba natin, for example, is HCl. Yung nasa burette is yung sodium hydroxide. Okay, so paano ba natin maakon yan? Paano ba natin Ayan, so ito yung ina-add natin. HCl, yun nandito sa titrant, and titrant, yung titrant, ito yung ina-add natin sa ating sodium hydroxide. So what are the major constituents? So una, sa may HCl natin, is yung nasa Erlenmeyer flask. Kapag hindi ko pa nag-add, HCl yung major constituents natin. Okay? And you will treat it as a strong acid. So HCl pa rin siya. But when you add a sodium hydroxide, yung burette, nagkaan ka na, nagbababa ka na, nag-add ka ng titrant, and nagmi-mix ka na, is you will form a sodium chloride. Kasi nag-react yung ating sodium hydroxide with the chloride ions, and then mag-form ng H2O. So HCl and sodium chloride. You will treat it as a strong acid. And then kapag stoichrometry equivalent na guys, yung ating sodium hydroxide and our HCl or na-reach na yung kanyang equivalence point, you will form a sodium chloride na. So treat it as a pure solvent, by which in the case of strong acid and strong base titration, the pH of it has a value of 7. The post-equivalence point, guys, kasi nag-add ka na, sobrang na yung sodium hydroxide na add mo from the burette. So ayan, the constituents, guys, present in our Erlenmeyer flask will be sodium chloride and sodium hydroxide, by which you will treat it as a strong base. So bakit strong base na siya? Kasi nga yun na yung major constituents na nandudun natin sa ating type. Okay? So ganon. So consider this example here. This is what I'm talking about. This is the pre-equivalence point. And then sigmoidal curve, ayan, hanggang papataas ka na. This is the equivalence point by which here the sodium chloride was formed, and dito naman HCl plus sodium chloride. And then the post-equivalence point, kasi diba pataas yung pH natin. Ayan. So sodium hydroxide and sodium chloride is the dominant species in our dito sa ating one. So the titration curve, strong acid titration strong base has a sigmoidal curve or graph like this. Na kung saan sa may pinakita natin earlier is kabaliktaran naman na kung saan yung strong base is tinatitrate with a strong acid. Okay? Kasi papababa yung pH natin. Okay. So consider this example here. 50 ml of 0.1 molar HCl is titrated with 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. Calculate the pH at the following points. So how do we do this, guys? How do we do this? Okay, let's paint here. Okay, dito. So paano ba natin makakuha yan? Okay, kung mapapansin niyo is may drawing tayo dito, guys, kung saan yung ating dito sa ating Erlenmeyer flask. Wait lang. Sa ating Erlenmeyer flask is nandito daw yung ating 0.1 molar HCl. Kasi nga, di ba, siya yung titrant natin. Siya daw ay 50 ml. And then nandito sa may burette natin, guys, is a 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. So, paano daw natin makakalculate yung pH at the start of the titration or before the equivalence point? This one here is the pre-equivalence point, addition of 10 ml titrant. And what will happen after equivalence point and post-equivalence point. So let's start the A. Okay? Dito sa ating HCl, di ba, 0.1 molar, by which our HCl, guys, is dissociated in water at mag-yield siya. So strong dissociation, it will yield a hydronium ion and chloride ion, by which it has a concentration of 0.1 molar. This one here is 0.1 molar and 0.1 molar. Kasi nga, nagkaroon tayo ng complete dissociation because HCl is a strong electrolyte here. So therefore, we have a formula of pH is equals to negative log concentration of hydronium ion here, guys. What is the concentration of hydronium ion, guys? That is 0.1 molar. Tama? Yun nandito. And actually, pinagulo lang siya, pero supposedly, kung ano yung concentration nito, yun din yun. Pero meron kasi tayong mga diprotic base. Pero ganun lang din yun. Kung anong concentration, kapag isa yung ating H, yun din yung concentration ng ating hydronium ion. In short, ini-negative log mo lang to in order to get the pH. So I'm gonna get my calculator muna. And calculate ko lang yan. Negative log. And our pH is negative log, that is 1. We have a pH of 1 here. Okay, next. B. Addition of 10 ml titrant. Addition of 10 ml titrant here. So letter B here. Nag-add na daw tayo ng 10.0 ml molar of 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide here dito. 10 ml. So magkakaroon tayo, di ba, as discussed earlier, the dominant species here, magkakaroon tayo ng ito, the HCl and sodium chloride. So treat as strong acid pa rin yun. So therefore, sa ating titrant, okay, itong formula na to, we have here the molarity of HCl is equals to, okay, the molarity of HCl, kasi HCl pa rin yung dominant acid natin, species doon sa may titrant natin kasi it is at equivalence point. So volume HCl minus molarity of NaO or specifically base times the volume of sodium hydroxide all over the volume total. And I will drop the unit. Gagamitin ko yung ml natin na supposedly liter. Pero ganun lang din kasi magiging unit niya. So let's do this. Ganun lang din ang magiging unit. Kaya, i-treat ko siya as millimoles per milliliter. So, ganun. Okay, dito, we have the molarity of HCl that is 0.1 molar. Okay, here, 50 ml. So, hindi ko na siya pala ml. Pero pwede din siya i-liter. Okay, patunayan na lang natin mamaya. Okay, in terms of ml, ayan. Ayan, so millimolarity. Hindi, sige, maguguluhan tayo. Sige. We will use a convert natin siya sa liter by which it is a 0.05 liter. Di ba yung molarity natin, it is a molarity that is moles per liter minus the molarity of sodium hydroxide which is 0.1 molar times the inad natin that is 10 ml. So therefore 0.01 liter all over 0.05 liter, the volume of our natin. Di ba volume total is the volume of our HCl as the volume of our sodium hydroxide or NaO plus 0.01 liters. So magta-direct calculations na ako dito, guys. Okay. The answer is 0.0667. So we have a ilan ba? Isang significant figures and two significant. So 0.067 molarity. That is the molarity of our HCl. And we all know, guys, di ba? HCl is only a monoprotic base. So therefore, ito yung concentration ng ating hydronium ion. So in order to calculate for the pH, it's just a pH is equals to negative log of hydronium ion here is equals to negative log 0.067 molarity is equals to 1.18. So we have 1.18 value of pH here. So mapapansin niyo is nadagdagan siya. Kasi nga 'di ba acid, nagdagdag ka ng base. So anong expectation mo? Tataas yung pH kasi nag-add ka ng base doon sa acid natin, which correlates with the natin. Okay, letter C naman natin is kapag daw, pasensya na medyo magulo na, letter C is after addition of 50 ml nitrate. So ganun lang din, the dominant species here, ganito gagawin natin. So molarity of HCl here, kung papansin niyo, so molarity of HCl times the volume of HCl minus the molarity of sodium hydroxide here times the volume of sodium hydroxide. And then the total volume. Okay. Expected naman na guys na magiging 0 to, pero papaita pa rin. Okay? Kasi ito, pasaali lang to. If you wish to calculate for the equivalence point, we have this common formula na molarity of acid equals base, tapos molarity of acid pala to times the volume of base, na kung saan ito ay mole of acid is equals to mole of base. Now, substitute na lang dyan dito, makuha ninyo yung volume ng base, that is 50 ml. So, para malaman yung equivalence point natin. Pero dito patutunayan ko lang, okay? So, you have 0.1, molar times the HCl volume, that is 0.05 liter minus 0.1 molar of our sodium hydroxide, and then 0.05 liter. And obvious naman na siya guys na siya ay kwan. So 0.05 plus 0.05 liter. Obvious naman na magsisiro ito. And kapag naging 0 guys, yung concentration ng ating HCl, that is has a automatically value of pH 7 agad yan. pH 7 agad siya, okay? And then for our letter D, the post-equivalence point. Dito, it is obvious naman, the dominant species here is yung ating sodium hydroxide. Okay? Lagyan natin ang guhit dito. Letter D. Nag-add ka na daw ng 60 ml of sodium hydroxide here. And kapag gagamit kayo ng molarity of HCl here, magkakaroon kayo ng value of negative sign. Negative yung magiging value ninyo. So therefore, kapag nangyari yan, I recommend na, hindi. It is actually, nababalik na rin nyo na siya. Instead na molarity of HCl ang gagamitin ninyo, it will be the molarity of sodium hydroxide. Pero may techniques naman dito na i-absolute value mo na lang siya. Pero sunod pa rin as protocol. I know, post-equivalence point, di ba? After equivalence point and post-equivalence point, meron tayong sodium hydroxide. Okay, so molarity of now. Now here, mauuna na dito, guys, yung ating molarity of sodium hydroxide. Then the volume of sodium hydroxide here, that's via, all over molarity of acid or HCl times molarity volume of HCl all over the volume total. Okay, so let's substitute the values. That is molarity of sodium hydroxide, that's 0.1 molar. Tama ba? Okay, tama. 0.1 molar naman pala. Para 0.0. Yeah. Nasa na yung pulse pointer ko? Get my noise pulse pointer here. And get out na. Ayan. Times the 0.06 liter minus 0.1 molar times 0.05 all over 0.06 plus 0.05. So in this case, guys, magda-direct calculations na lang ako para mapadali. And we have a value of... teka lang. Sorry guys, disregard that part kasi hindi na pala tayo mag-minus kasi titrant na pala yung inakaan natin. So we will discard this. Sorry, medyo nawablanko kasi ako kayo. Okay, Control X dot, Control X. hindi na tayo gagamit ng ganitong formula kasi dominant na yung sodium hydroxide as our species here. So, therefore, hanggang ganito na lang tayo. Ayan, hanggang dito na lang. Kahit lang hanggang dito na lang tayo. And we'll substitute the values. Okay, 0.05 plus 0.06 liter. Okay, the value is 0.6 tapos 0.06 plus 0.05. That is actually 0.11 actually. Okay, our answer is 0.0545. 0.0545 molarity for our sodium hydroxide. And the sodium hydroxide, when dissolved in water, since it is an electrolyte, it will yield a sodium and hydroxide ion here. Kung anong concentration ng sodium hydroxide, yun yung concentration ng ating sodium ion and hydroxide ion. So since ito, teka lang, 0.0545 molar. Ayan, ito yung concentration ng ating hydroxide ion here. And then, ang mangyayari dito, guys, is, di ba, negative. Ang mangyayari dito, we will have a value of pOH. Kasi nakuha natin value is OH ion. So, negative log times the concentration of OH ion and negative log again, concentration of 0.0545 and yan yung values natin. Teka. Ang values natin dyan is is 1.26. pOH is a value of 1.26. How do we get the pH value? Ano ba natin yan? We are all familiar to this. pH is equal to just 14 minus pOH. So, nanggaling to from the formula of pH plus pOH equals to 14. Transpose to the other side, magiging negative. So, tinranspose natin yung pH dito and magiging negative pOH siya. So, therefore, 14 minus 1.26 here and we will have a value of 12.74. Pero i-calculate pa natin. Yeah. 12.74 ang pH natin. So, ayan. So, let's check kung tama tayo. Meron akong checkers dito. Ayan. So, okay. Ba't ganun? Ay, kabalik ka rin to. This is an exercise here. Ano ba to? Wait lang, I am having some technical problem. Hello guys, so I'm back and I made a mistake for the part D of our lecture here. Tama pala yung una kong calculations na ginamit. Yung palang sinasabi ko dito guys is applicable doon sa may acid and weak acid and with strong base calculation. So, I'll just cut this part. So, may apologies ulit. Ano ko lang to. Ayan. And so, we can proceed to our iko natin. Okay. Iko na natin. Let's continue. Ito ay applicable. Mamaya may encounter natin yun. So, minus the molarity of the HCl or acid times volume of HCl all over volume total is equals to, that is 0.1 molar times 0.06 liter minus 0.1 molar times 0.05 liter. Kasi dominant species na yung ating sodium chloride and that is 0.05. Sodium hydroxide pala, that's 0.06. And answer you will get here will be, okay, just bear with me. Yan, 0.06 plus 0.05 here. That is 9.09 times 10 raised to negative 3. So this isn't supposed to be here. So let's erase this one. Let's erase this. So magidukit na yung ating pan. Magpara muna tayo here, dito. X here, X, ayan. Ayan, so log of 9.09 times 10 raised to negative 3 molar is equals to 2.04. But that is the value of pOH. Ma-minus pa natin ito ng 2.04. We will have a value of 11.96. Tama ba? Let's check. Yeah, 11.96. So that's how you get. So yung sinasabi ko kanina is, this is yung applicable na sinabi ko is for titration of strong weak acid with strong base. So sorry for that mistake. Okay, now let's continue to our discussion here. Ayan, so ito. Yan, ito, sa may pinakita natin kanina is, kung papansin niyo is pataas yung kanina. Dito naman is pababa. Kasi the titrand is the base and the titrand is the base and the titrand is the strong acid. So ito is acid, nasa burette. And yung Erlenmeyer plus natin is yung sodium hydroxide. So as you add in a base, you will expect a decrease in pH to the solution. Okay? So this is just a typical graph or the plot points of our change in pH during the titration of strong acid with the strong base here. So this is the volume of sodium hydroxide with the water. So pag ganito, ayan. And plot nyo lang sa may x-axis yung volume na titrant with pH doon. So you will get the sigmoidal curve here. So ayan, titrated strong base. So ito, ang pinapakita ng graph na nito guys is yung ating kwan. The concentration of both analyte and titrant affect the shape of the titration curve. Kapag mas makuan natin, mapapansin niyo, kapag mas mataas yung concentration ng ating titrant and titrant natin is mas sharp yung ating sigmoidal curve here, mas mataas siya as compared to the lower concentration of our titrant and analyte here. So that's the relationship between there. Okay. Now, dito, ayan, titration curve for HCl. Kung mapapansin ninyo, transition change will be, mangyayari doon. The more concentrated solutions of the analyte, it has a steeper slope of equivalence point region. Okay, so ganun yan. So ito yung mga specific pa natin indicators that shows. So ganun. And then next natin here, ayan. So ito na yung sinasabi ko. When we titrate the weak acid with a strong base. So weak acid, di ba, as discussed earlier, hindi pwedeng weak acid or base yung nasa titrant natin. It's always strong kasi yun yung inaan natin. Dito, sa may titrant naman natin or analyte sample natin, it can be strong acid, base, or weak acid and base natin. So, ganun lang din yung protocol natin, guys. The major constituent here, suppose that we have a titrant acetic acid. The major constituent, before the addition of titrant, is the acetic acid. So, treat as weak acid. We will use a Henderson-Hasselbalch equation in order to calculate for the pH of our weak acid. And then, for equivalence point, acetic acid and sodium acetate, which is the conjugate base. So, we will treat it as buffer. That is discussed in the earlier part of our lecture, the buffer part and equivalence point, treat as weak base, and post-equivalent points treat as a strong base. So dito, papakita ko lang yung pattern ng calculation nito dati. So una is doon sa may pre-equivalence point, start of titration, is you will use the acid dissociation constant formula. And then to the pre-equivalence point, gagamit ka ng formula ng Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Tapos dito naman, after addition of 25 mol or to halfway to equivalence point, that is C, ayun, ganun pa rin yung protocols natin sa ating transform into the solution. So ayan, nasan na ba? Letter C, but walang letter C dito? Nag-letter D agad siya. Letter C. Then kapag T, 60 ml is ganon, hindi ka nagagamit ng Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Ayan, so, ayan, ito. Ayan. But wala yung letter E, yung half equivalence point, which is pH is equals to pKa. But wala. Okay, sige. Kunin natin ito. Pagka naman post-equivalence point, OH na, hindi na gagamit ng Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Okay? So, let's do the calculations here. Kasi na. Okay. Just take a screenshot to here, guys, muna. Yan, so that we can proceed to our next problem here. Last problem ito. Ayan. May konting bloopers. Then here. So, ganyan. So, balik na tayo sa ating problem na ito. Okay. Let's do this. Here, new paint here. Okay. Simulan natin ang calculations natin. Okay. Okay. Dito daw sa atin is dito. We have 50 ml of a 0.1 molar of acetic acid, which is a Ka value. So, i-consider nyo na yung acid dissociation constant niya. Is titrated with a 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. So, ito yung sa titrant natin here. That is 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. Then sa titrant natin, meron tayong 50.0 ml na acetic acid or HOAC for short, na may concentration of 0.1 molar and has a K value of 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5. Okay, letter A. At the start of titration, we will consider the values of Ka. Ano bang equilibrium expression yan? Ito, yan. Ito naman rin kanina. Suppose that HOAC is dissolved in water to form a hydronium ion plus acetate ion here. Now, dito, gagamit kayo ng ICE method. The ICE. Okay? Then dito here, the HOAC, the H2O is not included in the equilibrium expression, so that is 0. Yan, ito. Sulat ko lang, Ka. Equilibrium expression ito, product all of reactants, so therefore, hydronium ion times the acetate ion here all over the acetic acid. So ayan, sa natin, we have 0.1 molar. And then as the chemical equilibrium, the reactant will be decreased. Ayan, from the concepts na diniscuss natin sa ating module 4. And then minus x, plus x, and then plus x. So equilibrium expression is 0.1 minus x, x, and x. And then, dito na tayo pupunta. We will substitute the known values here. Hydronium ion is x. The OAC for acetate ion is as a value of x. And then, HOAC has a value of 0.1 minus x. And yung Ka value natin dito is 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5. Since the Ka is very small, so we will neglect this. Ang mangyayari ngayon dito, we have x times x equals to 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5 times 0.1 molar. Now, in order for that, ito, kasi siya ay magiging x squared times 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5 times 0.1. To cancel the x squared, ayan, square root both sides here. Square root both sides. And you will yield an x value of 1.34 times 10 raised to negative 3. 1.34 times 10 raised to negative 3 molar. And then since x is equals to the concentration of hydronium ion, okay, therefore the pH is just a negative log of hydronium ion. Ulitin ko ulit. And then negative log, that is 1.34 times 10 raised to negative 3 molar. Tama ba? pH ba kinuuha? Okay, titrated with the pH. Where is the mouse pointer? So, in a negative log mo lang siya dito. And the pH of this start of the titration is 2.87. Ayan. Okay, punta naman tayo sa may letter B natin. Sa ating letter B here. Ayan. Dito yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung kung ano yung concentration ng titrant, yun yung concentration ng ating titrant. Okay? Nandito siya actually. Itong part na ito. Itong letter B natin na ito. Ayan, ito siya. Okay, so let's continue our discussion. Letter B, titrant. 10 ml of titrant, so 10 ml of sodium hydroxide, 10.0 ml of sodium hydroxide here, plus the 50 ml of, ano natin, 50 ml of acetic acid. So, dalaway ko ulit natin dyan. We will use the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation by which pH is equals to pKa plus log concentration of the acetate ion all over the concentration of acetic acid. But what is the concentration of acetate ion and acetic acid? Kasi meron tayong pKa. pKa is just a negative log of Ka, by which Ka is 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5. So what's the value of acetate ion? The acetate ion, guys, kung ano yung concentration ng ating sodium hydroxide, yun din yung concentration ng ating ating acetate ion. But, consider natin yung dilution, yung pag-dilute ng volume natin. So, therefore, 0.01 liter, 10 ml, di ba? Times 0.1 molar na, from the concentration, the type here, doon siya, given siya. And then, all over the total volume, which is 0.01 plus 0.05. Okay, and the OAC, or the acetate ion concentration, will be 0.167. So, was 0.1, 0.0, wait, 0.0167. Samantalang HOCC naman is similar doon sa may calculation natin na okay, molarity of the acid, A na lang, volume of acid, value minus molarity of the base, tapos volume ng base natin, all over the total volume natin, okay? So therefore, substitute the known values, that is 0. Yung pag-substitute ko ng values. Okay, ito yung formula natin. Ba't ko sinubstitute ko agad? That is molarity of the base, volume base. Pinagbaliktad ko lang So, ayan. And then the total volume here, dito, is 0.1 molar of acid and 0.05 liter of the base minus 0.1 molar times 0.01 liter all over 0.06 liter. Okay, and the answer is is 0.067. Alam mo talaga ng molar dito. 0.067 molar. So ito na sa substitute natin dyan. So plus log of 0.1, 0.0167 all over 0.067. And pKa natin, that's negative log Ka, log times 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5 plus log of concentration of 0.0167 all over 0.067. And ang value natin, guys, is, okay, just give me time to calculate the answer. I-recta calculation ko na siya, guys, Okay, that is 4.14. 4.14 yung natin. So, let's check if that is 4.14. Okay, nasa na ba? 4.14. So, tumama ba tayo? Okay, yan. 4.14. And then, yung may remaining answers naman pa naman tayo dito, guys, na nandito. So, ayan. Pagpapaturnan ko na lang muna. And i-discuss ko. Okay. And for letter C. Kasi letter C natin. Letter C. Letter C, I can see the mouse pointer. Hindi mo ito pointer. Where's the pointer? Ayun. Letter C. Ang inad daw sa ating letter C is addition of 25 ml titrant. Pagka 25 ml, okay, 25 molar of the, natin, 25 ml, that is, okay, of titrant, 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide here. So, gagamit pa rin tayo na ating natin ng Henderson-Hasselbalch equation plus log concentration of OAC, conjugate acid and base, all over HOAC. And then the the one natin, OEC negative, is the concentration of the sodium hydroxide here. Kaya ang kanyan is, di ba? Molarity of acid, okay, molarity of base times volume of base all over the volume total. That is 0.1 molar times 0.025 all over 0.05 plus 0.025. And we have a answer of 0.033. 0.33. And then for our acetic acid here, okay, that will be molarity of acid, volume of acid values. Molarity of base times volume of base all over the volume total. And kung natin dito is 0.1 molar, di ba, times 0.05 liter minus molarity of base, that is 0.1 molar times 0.025 liter all over 0.05 plus 0.025. And the answer will be but 0.01. Sorry guys, that is 0.1 molar. Nalilito na ako. That is, ang sagot din is 0.033. And kung mapapansin nyo, equal sila. So therefore, our log will be neglected into 0. That is pH is equals to pKa. Ano ba yung pKa natin? That is negative log of Ka. And negative log Ka natin is 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5 here. It has a value of 4.76, I think. Pero let's calculate the part na. 10 raised to negative 5. That is 4.74. So that is the one natin. Ang tinatawag kasi natin dito guys, kapag half na, this is also known as the halfway to equivalence point. Na kung saan yung pH is equals to pKa. Okay? Then letter D, 50 ml daw yung enad. So therefore, ano ba yan? Nandun tayo sa may equivalence point natin. Letter D, 50 ml of titrant or sodium hydroxide. Ito ay equivalence point. Bakit? Sige, kunin natin. Kasi nga, let's suppose we use the concentration of HOAC or acetic acid. So molarity of acid, volume of acid, minus molarity of base times volume of base all over volume total. That is 0.1 molar times 0.05 liter minus 0.1 molar times 0.05 liter all over 0.05 liter plus 0.05 liter, that is 0. Kapag nag-0 yan, equivalence point na tayo. So anong gagawin natin dyan? At equivalence point, the acetate ion will be the dominant ion here. So the OAC daw was mixed with water to form a HOAC or acetic acid plus OH ion. And as you can see guys, meron tayong hydroxide ion. And if dito sa expression na to, we have Kw equals to Ka times Kb. Na kung saan, since this one is base dissociation constant, kapag dominant yung OH, OH yung dominant dito. So therefore, Kb na yung magiging expression natin, Kw over Ka. Binaba ko lang ito, yung Ka natin. Ano ba yung Kw value natin? That is 1.0 times 10 to the negative 14. And guys, it is always constant. And ano ba yung Ka value natin? That is 1.8 times 10 raised to negative 5. Okay, this one is negative 14. Negative 14. And ang value niyan guys is, ayan, just bear with me. Malapit na matapos. Listen, and that is 5.55. 5.55 times 10 raised to negative 10. Okay, punta na tayo sa ating discussion here. And then dito na, kunin na natin kasi ito, di ba? Ang dominant species natin dito, guys, is the OAC. Ito. Ayan, OAC or the sodium acetate natin. Ngayon, ang mangyayari dito, guys, is we'll have another ICE. Okay? So this one here, ilan to? That is 0.1 molar. Kasi nga, yun yung concentration ng ating acetate yung derived from the sodium hydroxide. Then minus X. The H2O was not included in the equilibrium, so that will be 0. And then 0, 0, then as X. Then as X. And we have a Kb expression of concentration of hydroxide ion as the concentration of HOAC all over the concentration of 0.1 minus X. Saan ba nanggaling yan? And equilibrium concentration is 0.1 minus X, then X, and X. Substitute the known values here. Then after that, we will substitute na yan, mga yan. Okay? So let's substitute. The Kb is equals to 5.55 times 10 raised to negative 10 is equals to X times X all over 0.1 minus X. Since the Kb has a napakalit ng value na, so we will consider this as negligible. So Criss-cross multiplication, we will need the X times X equals to 5.55 times 10 raised to negative 10 times 0.1. So magiging X squared times 5.55 times 10 raised to negative 10 times 0.1. To cancel the squared, so square root natin siya, and we will yield a value of okay, 7.45 times 10 raised to negative 6. 7.45 times 10 raised to negative 6 molar, and that's the particle concentration of hydroxide ion. So makuha natin dito, guys, is POH, that is negative log of hydroxide ion. Di ba pH yung inukuha natin dito? Makuha lang naman natin yan by, ayan, negative log times the 7.45 times 10 raised to negative 6 molar. Sir, bakit po OH? Kasi nga, OH yung dominant ion natin dito, by which X is equals to the OH ion. Kaya, ayan, since OH, POH yung makuha natin. Para mag-POH, negative log mo siya sa may negative OH. So, ayan na natin, negative log of 7.45 is negative 6. You have a value of 5.12. In order to get the pH, times mo lang siya sa 14 minus 5.12, that is 8.87. So that's how you calculate for the equivalence point. Ayan. 50 ml tight on endpoint, yan ang equivalence point. Kasi nag-zero. Okay? Now, for the last part of our discussion is the post-equivalence point, guys. Medyo pagod na kasi ako, guys. Follow the pattern of this na lang. Similar din naman siya sa may lecture natin kanina. Ay, sa may example natin kanina na kung saan hindi na tayo nagagamit ng Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. But rather, dominant na yung OH. And then, ayan, calculate lang, and you will yield this value. Ay, hindi. Ito ba yun? Hindi, wait. Oh, tama yun. Okay. Yan. And for the weak base, so ganon. You will yield a value of, get value of 11.96. So, ganon lang din. Kapag effect of concentration ng weak acid titrated with strong base, mas concentrated, mas sharper yung endpoint natin. Okay? And then next, ayan, ganyan. And then kapag naman Kb, strong base titrated with a weak acid, at strong acid, pababa naman siya. So, ayan. So, major constituents, ganun lang din. So, we will generate a salt when a weak base is titrated with a strong acid. So, ganyan. And ganito. So, in order to calculate for that one, yan yung kukuha natin. The first derivative plot. Kung saan makuha ninyo yung exact value, exact plot of the kuha natin. The pH of our equivalence point. So, this will be our part 1 of our lecture, guys. So, see you on the next part of our lecture na kung saan, ayan, okay, discuss ko lang din that the titration of weak acid with a weak base is not feasible kasi hindi magpo-proceed ng reaction yun. At the endpoint is not sharp at walang suitable indicator. So, it is not suitable, okay? So, I will end my discussion here, guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something. If wala kayo naiintindihan, kindly message me sa Messenger. And yun na lang muna. So, goodbye and yun.